If you're thinking about divorce right now, you probably have a lot of questions and concerns about how it's going to play out. You know, thinking about things like your house, your kids, your finances, and you're probably lost as to what you do next. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the same way I would in an actual consultation. We're going to cover what happens to the house, how parenting plans actually work, what to expect with support and finances, the different ways divorce cases move through the system, and most importantly, how to avoid the mistakes we see people make every single day. So by the end of this video, you are going to have a much better understanding of what a divorce may look like without having even spoken to anyone. Hi, I'm Kristen Wolf with Wolf & Shore Law Group. We are family law attorneys here in the state of Connecticut. We help you to get through your family law matter with certainty so that you can go on with your life. To break a divorce down into very general topics, there are two major areas of concern: finances and custody. So with regards to finances, every single person going through a divorce has financial issues. If we are to break finances down again into very general topics, we've got to deal with assets and cash flow. When we're dealing with the assets, the questions are, what's gonna happen with the house? What's gonna happen with your retirement accounts? Do you get to keep your pension? Do you have to divide your bank accounts? What if you made all of the money that's in the accounts while your spouse stayed home? These are all of the main issues that we have to deal with when we are talking about the division of assets through divorce. But just because we've talked about how to divide the assets, we also need to talk about how to divide the income. Keep in mind, right now, you're living with however much income you have for one household. That same amount of income is now going to have to be spread out over two households. And the question is, how do we make that work? And is that going to be in the form of child support, alimony, or none of the above? If you have children, then you will also need to talk about custody. There are two kinds of custody that we talk about. One is legal custody and two is physical custody. Put very simply, legal custody allows for the parents to make the big decisions regarding their children. Big decisions include things such as where they go to school, what medical practice they see, what medical procedures they get, what religion they practice. Physical custody is very simply, where are they going to lay their heads at night and what is that going to look like for both of you? Here's what I'm going to show you in the rest of this video. One, how to divide your assets and income so it's fair and equitable to the both of you. And two, if you have children, how we will come up with a parenting plan that is realistic and actually works for both of you and your children. First, let's talk about the finances, the division of assets and the division of income. In most divorce cases, people are most concerned with what's going to happen to the marital residence, how are my retirement plans going to be divided, and am I going to be able to keep my pension if I have one, and what's going to happen to our bank accounts. For starters, we need to understand your whole financial picture between the both of you. And we also need to know what's most important to you. Is it more important for you to stay in the house and to continue to pay the mortgage on that house? Or is it more important to you to keep more of the retirement assets? For some people, liquidity is the way that they need to go. And for others, the retirement piece is the way that they need to go. So we have to understand your whole picture, because when we're dividing assets, it doesn't have to be line item to line item division. So for instance, just because one of you is keeping the house, in theory, you would have to buy the person out of the equity. However, if we can do that by you keeping another portion of an asset, we can do that as well. So we tell people when they come in that they need to understand what's most important for them and their particular situation. Similarly, we need to also understand the entire scenario when it comes to income. Are you making the same amount of income? Is one person making more than the other? Is one person staying home? Where are the kids going to reside? These are all things that we have to decide so that we can make the division of income fair and equitable as well. Look, when it comes to child support, people always come in and say, I want a shared parenting plan because I don't want to pay child support. That's not really how it works. The courts in Connecticut don't care if you have a shared parenting plan. They want to make sure that the division of income between the two parents is somewhat fair and equitable so that you don't have a person living a luxurious lifestyle in one home and not in the other. And remember, child support is really meant to allow for the person receiving the support to provide for the basics of the kids. If we're talking about alimony, alimony is really meant to support the lower earning spouse for a certain period of time. Now, keep in mind, after we divide the assets and the income, you also need to make sure that you can afford the lifestyle that you are now creating for yourself. We need to make sure that any of the assets that you keep, you can continue to pay for and they fit within your budget so that we're not setting you up to fail. This will include who's keeping the house, how they're going to pay for it. Can they afford to get a buyout of the house? Can they afford to get another mortgage? Will they assume the mortgage? These are all questions that we step you through, and this is why you come to us so that we can help you with all of those questions and make sure that at the end, you know exactly what you're looking towards. Let's talk about if you have children and how we go about developing a parenting plan that works for you. So this often ties into who's keeping the marital residence and where's the other spouse going to go. If the other spouse is going to live an hour and a half away, that's going to be a lot harder for them to maintain involvement in their children's life on a day-to-day basis. Keep in mind, any parenting plan that we devise, the court is going to make sure that this parenting plan is in the best interests of your children. Generally speaking, the courts start from a position that it's better to have both parents actively involved in their children's life than not. I'm not exactly sure what your situation is or if you're ready to speak with an attorney, but here's how we typically work with clients. Number one, you decide if you're ready to move forward. Number two, you set up a consultation so that we can discuss a strategy and some options for you. Number three, you retain us and we begin preparing your case. Number four, we help you complete your financial affidavits and follow up with supporting documentation. Number five, we draft everything for you for your approval before we file it. And number six, we guide you through all of the negotiations, mediations, or court processes. Here's why this matters, and here's why it's important for you to get an attorney. The decisions that you are making now are important. They impact you and your family forever. There are some decisions that you make during a divorce that we simply can't fix if you make them incorrectly the first time around. So it's important that you get somebody who knows what they're dealing with and can help guide you through the situation, give you all of the options so that you can make the decision that's best for you, that you can live with. If you are going through a divorce or thinking about getting a divorce, reach out to us so that we can set up a consultation with you and give you a little bit more specificity as to how your particular circumstances may play out. So if you're ready, go ahead and schedule a consultation and we'll walk you through your situation step by step so you know exactly what to do next.